So I've uploaded my images onto Photoshop of my points, and I gathered most of them around in the room. But I want to crop them, that's a little blurry, and do some editing just to try to make it as interesting as possible. So it's just about the points and get rid of any distractions. We call it filling the frame. So I'm going to start with this one. I like that one a lot, but it needs a lot of editing. So I'm going to go to the crop tool. It's right here, or hit C. And I'm actually going to do squares for my layout. You can use rectangular, it's up to you, depending on how you're going to lay it out on your book pages later. But I'm going to crop in quite a bit, but not so much that I eliminate information about where it's at. Click OK. There we have it. And then I'm going to go change my workspace to photography. And under photography, we have this adjustments area. So I'm going to go over here to levels. And levels is a histogram that shows where all the values are. So I'm going to slide my black over here and slide my white over here. What I just did was alter the contrast of my image because I had these big gaps in the values of dark and light, and so I'm just evening it out. I can also adjust for the color balance. Notice it looks kind of blue-green. If you want to, you can choose this white eyedropper, and I'm going to choose the whitest part of my picture, which is right here, and then look at that. It neutralized it. It made it more the real color it is. And anytime you use these levels adjustments, notice I have a big gap in dark again, so if I want to, I could slide this over. If I went all the way here, that's pretty dark and contrasty, and really this is what it looks like. This is the hole in my lamp. So I'm going to keep it here, but just know that when you do an adjustment layer, you can always adjust this by lowering the opacity on the adjustment layer to take it back to what it was when it started. But you can see what a nice difference that made. So just balancing it out, finding what level is the level that works for you. And then once I'm done, I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to navigate into my Dropbox and get into that folder that I had you create already. That was Elements. And then I'm going to go into the point. And I could keep it as a Photoshop document, but I'm going to change the name to point 1 and hit save, OK. And so that's been saved in there, and I can close it. So now I'm going to go to another image. I'm going to work with this one. This is a little darker. I'm going to hit C, the shortcut for crop. Bring it up into these areas. And I'm going to get pretty close on this one. Click OK. And then I'm going to look at the layers or levels in this one. You can see there's a lot of blacks, a lot of whites. So actually my histogram is pretty good here. So let me do the white balance. I'm just going to click on the white sample key. Click on here. Not a huge difference. And then this is the midtone slider. So I can adjust if I want it really dark or bright in the midtones. I kind of like it in this spot here. And I think that's pretty good. So what I'm going to show you now is how to create an action. So I'm coming over here to where I have actions, and again I'm in the photography workspace. So in the actions, I click over here to say new, and I'm going to name it Save Point. Then I hit record. Now when it's recording, I go File, Save As, and I'm going to navigate to my Dropbox. Into files I'm looking for. And for this one, I'm not going to change the name because then if I play the action again, it's going to change it to that name and probably save over the other document. I'm going to leave it as this, hit save, OK, and then I'm going to close the file. Then I come over here to the actions panel and I'm going to stop recording. You can see the record key here. And now I have an action that's called Save Point. So I'm going to actually skip this one. I'm not too happy with how that showed up. Let me try this one, my creamers. So I'm going to go to crop again. And the reason I'm not doing an action with my crops is because every image is going to be different in the way that it gets cropped. Same goes for the levels, as you just saw. So I'm going to leave a little more information on this one. I'm not going to go straight in because I want to kind of give a hint of what this is. Click OK. Go over here to the levels. Pretty good histogram, so I'm just going to do the white balance. And again, I want to go for the whitest spot, because if I come out here to the grays, you can see that that blew out all the whites. We call that blowout. So it just means that we have too many values in the whites. So I want to go to that high white right here, click on it, and notice how much that adjusted it. It's kind of a cool green blue here, and now it's warmer and looks more natural. If I want to darken up some of the blacks, I can do that to get some more contrast. But now once it's done, instead of going through all those other steps for saving, all I have to do is come over here to Save Point and hit play. Boom. It did all the saving that I needed, put it in the right spot, and then close the file. So that's all you need to know. And I'm just going to go through all these pictures, crop, do the levels, and then hit my Save Point. Now, don't use any images like this that turn out blurry. Go take another one, go get a better one. But look at and see how interesting you can make things. Don't also use the tabletop to just throw a bunch of circles on. Really search around, try to find some different places for, I really like this one, for a point. And try to come up with an interesting composition. Try that one. And maybe slide it over. Not everything has to be centered on this. Okay. And then Save Point, play. And that's all. And then the next step will be putting these in your layout in your book.